Hi everyone! Sidechaining is an essential skill for every electronic music producer nowadays. But can you do it on the OPXY? Well, there's not a dedicated function for it, but there's a few workarounds. I put together a list of 5 different ways to do sidechaining. Why 5, you may ask? Well, that's because they work a bit differently for different situations. And the 5th way is a way that I haven't heard anyone else talk about. So this is gonna be the ultimate sidechaining guide for the OPXY. Let's go. All right, sidechaining time. But first, just let me take a second to talk about the Lord and Savior, the algorithm. If you enjoy my videos, this kind of content, please consider liking, subscribing. It helps me out a lot. And if this video gets over 100 likes, the algorithm will be happy and bless you with a great day. All right. Sidechaining on the XY. First technique is simply step components. Use step components, especially this one. I have a hi-hat pattern where I will showcase this, that if you hold shift and press every downbeat of a 4 to the floor kick drum, then you press this one and you go to number 1. You got a velocity of 4. So these steps will be very low, so your kick can be very punchy. That sounds like this. Pretty subtle. You can make it even more subtle if you want to by adding like the steps next to the downbeat and making them almost as quiet, but not. It's on 8 now, so it will be quiet, a little bit less quiet, and then full. And then you can continue to do this just to like create a little nice volume ramp. And it sounds like this. This technique works perfectly on these shorter percussive sounds, but there's a problem if you have legato or longer notes that will fit together. Let's check it out by using this track. It sounds like this. And then if I add a step component, just as we did on the other track, it drops the volume all the way, because this is like a legato sound that holds all these notes. All will be affected by this one trigger, and then we'll get full volume over here. So it doesn't work on legato, long portamento sounds. Perfect for percussive sounds. Technique 2. Parameter locking the filter. I have this bass. Use headphones or speakers if you can't hear it on your phone speaker. Let's parameter lock this. So I just gonna press play, hold record and tweak this manually, and we'll see why. Now you see that it's a little bit choppy. If I go into the bar page, you have this shape option that you can turn up. That will make the automation more smooth. So that will work, but obviously you're sacrificing your filter. If you have a specific filter setting or effect that really nails the sound, this might ruin it and might not work for you. Otherwise, it's cool. Number 3, LFOs. I got this bass. And we can add, if we add a tremolo, this will be the control of how much the LFO will affect your volume. So by turning this down, and I have already changed the waveform to like a square. And believe it or not, this is quarter notes. I don't know why, but it is. Now it ducks the kick. This works perfectly on instruments that play on the beat. The problem with the tremolo LFO is that it re-triggers on every note. So if I have a track like this, You see it has notes hitting a little bit randomly, but differently. So if I add the LFO to this, it triggers too many times. It doesn't just trigger on the quarter notes. So it re-triggers every time. Okay, so this is a workaround. Use the value LFO. Here you can choose like free, but then you have to do it on the filter, unfortunately, because there's no volume. So you have to do it on the cutoff on the filter, and you make it go down, and you make it choose your square wave. That's an option. Using LFOs are awesome, but it's, of course, you have to sacrifice your LFO. If you use it for sound design, you can't do this trick. Technique number 4. Disclaimer, I had to re-record this part of the video because there's a new firmware update that helped with some bugs that I was experiencing in the old firmware. This is recorded on 1.0.32, I believe. This is a very good way for sidechaining. We have this. I'm gonna hold the downbeats and just in the mixer lower them by parameter locking them. With your second bar, do the same. It still has some weird artifacts to it. You see that at the end here, it's gonna be like what? It's something depending on where the notes trigger. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's a very good sidechaining option. Technique number 5. This is like my new fun way of adding sidechain compression. It's really quick. It works every time, but it's gonna be really extreme. But it will not work on every genre, of course. Let's check it out. Here's our track, as we know it. If we go over to our punch-in effects, we're gonna use this effect. If you play it, it mutes all the melodic instruments. So we're gonna put that down there, and then we're gonna hold the trigger and go over there. So it will last 2 steps. And then we're gonna hold it again till it said copied. And we're gonna punch it in over here, and over here. Instant sidechain. And it's like David Guetta, Nicky Romero, like that. Insane Ibiza EDM sidechaining. But let's say that you want to use this only on one track, not all the melodic tracks, or choose your track. Like I have this bass here, and I'll mute the other one so you can hear it. On your track while playing, and you hold shift. Now you're on, you have your punch-in effects over here. This side will be for this track only. This will affect all the melodic tracks. So I don't want to do that this time. I want to do this one. So let's just get going by holding record, shift, and I can go into my punch-in effects and see this. See that it's double triggered there. And there we go. Now the other. This melodic track is not sidechained, but the bass is. All right. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you feel a little bit more inspired than when you first got here. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe because that helps me a lot. If you want to support me and my channel, my music, everything, that would mean the world to me. There's some links down below in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.